Live from WBFF TV in Baltimore, this is breaking news.
Thank you for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Shannon Lilly. Happening right now, the funeral of Baltimore City Fire Captain Dylan J. Ronaldo. Let's listen in.
Or his brother in service showcases his bravery. And Captain Ronaldo left this life how he lived it, and how he was destined to be since the day he decided that he would follow his father's footsteps into the fire service as a hero. Over the past 2 weeks, I've heard people ask me and heard mention that Dylan had reached such a high ranking at the age of 26. And knowing a little bit about service at a young age, I simply said to those what I will say to you today. Leadership has never been about the grays on your head or the length of your tooth. Leadership has been and always will be about what is in you and your willingness to unlock it. Dylan decided to unlock the leader in him at a very young age. From sleeping with a radio, hoping to respond to calls, and loving and wanting to serve so much that he left high school practices early to volunteer at the firehouse. That is what a leader is. If your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. Captain Ronaldo was just that. And our city owes him a debt that we'll never be able to repay. To Lauren, Mr. and Mrs. Ronaldo, and the entire family, in this time of suffering and sorrow, we are here to support you and will be here long after the calls have stopped. In this tremendously difficult time, take a moment to look around you, to feel embraced by the hundreds who've gathered here to show their love and appreciation for Captain Dylan Ronaldo. So many of those here today were personally touched by his life and his work. Some who may not have known him in life, but have been so moved by his story that they're here today with you. Take pride in his memory and always know that you are never alone in your love for Captain Ronaldo. My heart is with you. The entire heart of the city of Baltimore is with you. Captain Ronaldo, like each of the men and women of the Baltimore City Fire Department, knew that this work is like no other. From the moment you put your uniform on, you have answered the call. You all understand the dangers of the job, yet never shy away from your duties, and he never shied away, not once. His legacy is a testament to the work that you all do on a daily basis, an example for all of us who strive to serve. Public service, in whatever form it takes, is not a line of work. It's a calling that must choose to continue to take up each and every day, no matter the risk or the cause. A calling that Captain Ronaldo felt in his bones. We all feel that loss. It pains me to know that this brave young man with a bright future ahead of him, who was just beginning to build a family, has been called home. But we all owe it to him, and we will make sure that his memory lives on, not just in Lauren or in the brave firefighters of Engine 46, but in the hearts and minds of everyone in this city that he gave his life for. A memory of selflessness and service to inspire us all to follow Dylan's lead and make the most out of our time on this earth in service to our fellow man. May he rest in peace, knowing that he has made his mark on this world through his service and his love for others. There is no greater meaning in this life or the next. May God bless you all, and may God bless Captain Dylan Ronaldo. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow firefighters and EMS colleagues, and most importantly, family and friends of our fallen hero. We gather here today with heavy hearts to honor the life and the legacy of a truly genuine and remarkable individual who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our community, Captain Dylan J. Rinaldo. It is with deep sadness that we mourn the loss of our brother, who selflessly gave his life in the protection of others. The loss we feel today is immeasurable, and the void left behind is deeply profound. But let us remember that Captain Rinaldo's impact on our lives and all the lives he touched will never fade. His spirit will forever guide and protect us as we continue to serve our community with the same pride, honor, and dignity that he displayed every single day. Whether it was in the fire station or while performing community safety and engagement activities or responding to emergency calls, Captain Rinaldo was a shining personification of dedication, bravery, and selflessness within the Baltimore City Fire Department. His unwavering commitment to the well-being of others serves as an inspiration to all who had the privilege of working alongside him. To Ralph, Geraldine, Danielle, and Lauren, and the entire family of our fallen brother, we extend our deepest condolences and our heartfelt sympathies. We cannot fathom the depth of your grief, but please know that you are not alone. We know that you not only shared Dylan with our department, you shared a part of yourselves. The entire Baltimore City Fire Department stands beside you in this difficult time and will continue to support you in any way we can, offering our constant love, compassion, support, and assistance. Your loved one was not just a firefighter. He was our colleague, our friend, and our brother, and his memory will forever be cherished. Today, as we gather in unity and solidarity, we are joined by thousands of firefighters from near and far. Their presence here today is a testament to the brotherhood and sisterhood that binds us together as one family, and you will forever be part of that family. In the face of grief, please draw strength from your extended family and know that you are not alone. To Captain Garcio, Captain O'Malley, and the officers and members of Engine 46, Truck 27, Engine 13, and Truck 16, I offer my deepest sympathies and support during this very difficult time. To our fellow fire service members, I ask that you remember the incredible legacy left behind by Captain Rinaldo. Let his courage and sacrifice inspire us to be the best versions of ourselves. In the face of adversity, let us find renewed determination to protect and serve the community that we serve with the unwavering dedication and professionalism that Captain Rinaldo constantly displayed. It is now with great honor that I read the following Baltimore City Fire Department General Order announcing the posthumous promotion of Dylan J. Rinaldo. Baltimore City Fire Department General Order 90-23. Subject line, promotion. Today's date, Fire Lieutenant Dylan J. Rinaldo, Engine 46, to Fire Captain, Suppression, Engine 46. In closing, let us honor the life of Captain Ronaldo by vowing to carry his legacy forward. Captain Ronaldo will forever be remembered as a hero, and his memory will in the hearts of all who knew him. May his sacrifice serve as a constant reminder of the dangers we face and the importance of our mission. Let us stand together, united in our grief and in our commitment to protecting and serving our community. May God bless you all.
Good morning. My name is Josh Fannin. I am a battalion chief in the Baltimore City Fire Department, and I am the president of Baltimore Fire Officers Union, IEFF Local 964. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, and extended family traveling from as far as County Waterford to be here today from the other side of the pond. Most importantly, I would like to extend our warmest regards to the Ronaldo and Ridland families for welcoming us all to this celebration of the life of Captain Dylan J. Ronaldo. Initially, we were brought together and shared grief at Dylan's sudden passing before realizing we are bound together as part of a familial network that is the fire service. Dylan felt his calling to the fire service at a very young age. His mother, Jerry, purchased him fire department bunker gear as soon as he showed interest. His father, Ralph, was already a firefighter at Fair Lawn Fire Department in their hometown in New Jersey before Dylan was born. His father's service did not go unnoticed, so much so that when Ralph would don his turnout pants at home before responding to a pager alert calling him to service, 3-year-old Dylan would do the same, throwing off his shoes and slipping his feet into his plastic boots, pulling up his pants, to throw the suspenders over his shoulders. This young child, who was still learning the fine points of walking, would proudly meet his father at the door to see him off. By day, he and his friend used their childhood imaginations to convert their radio flyer from a wagon to a fire truck. They responded around the yard, putting out make-believe fires. He was well on his way to his destiny as one of Baltimore City's bravest. Dylan followed in his father's footsteps as a cadet at Fair Lawn Fire Department for several years. He knew he wanted to serve and began applying to career fire departments. He received the offer of a lifetime, a letter to join the ranks of the BCFD. He gladly accepted, hardly able to contain his excitement, despite Mom's reservations. It was something he felt with every fiber of his being he was meant to do, and he was off to the Baltimore City Fire Academy on July 12, 2017. After successful completion of his training, he was assigned to Engine Company number 35 in Brooklyn. From here, he determined which firehouse he would eventually make his home. After serving the year required under department rules, Dylan transferred to Engine Company number 13. Housed with Truck Company number 16 and Medic 4, Engine 13 is located at 405 McMecken Street and affectionately referred to as Club 405 by the members assigned there. I served there myself as a lieutenant some years back, and I can tell you that it is not an easy assignment. The calls for service are very high. The district is diverse and challenging in terms of residency and building construction. The fires range from small cooking fires to large multiple alarm commercial buildings. But one thing is constant: the fires are frequent. Dylan knew this would be his training grounds to refine his craft as a firefighter. Firefighters at Club 405 don't exactly welcome newcomers with open arms. They are skilled veterans. When someone new walks through those doors, they have to know they can put their life in that person's hands, as that person can trust their life in theirs. It didn't take them long to recognize Dylan was in possession of all the qualities of an excellent firefighter. He was smart, he was physically imposing, but he was a gentle giant and could put his sheer physicality to work on difficult fires when they needed it most. Perhaps most importantly, his skills were forged by his bravery and courage. He was an asset. In short order, he was welcomed as a valuable member of the team. Dylan's talent and ambition would lead him to take the next step. On July 6, 2022, he was promoted by General Order 46-22 and was on his way to his new assignment, Engine Company Number 46 in Northwest Baltimore. Dylan had already been dedicated to improving his skill by critically evaluating his actions on a fire ground immediately thereafter in the hopes he could do things even better the next time. He was now further broadening his skills in leadership. Firefighters were now looking to him not only for his learned opinions or views on fireground strategy and tactics, but for his direction and guidance under his command as a supervisor as well. On October 19th, 2023, Dylan responded to his last alarm. He approached this response as he had countless others with thought and purpose. He performed heroically and valiantly in the face of unexpected adverse conditions. His final actions selflessly dedicated to initiating a rapid intervention team response for him and a firefighter on his crew. They fought for survival, but they succumbed to their injuries. When death stared Dylan down, he stared right back with steadfast resolve and resisted with the immense strength he had. He placed his life on the line so that others may live. This selfless act resulted in him going out of this world the same way that he came into it, as a fighter. Today, we naturally grieve for the loss of our son, brother, fiance, and friend. We rarely acknowledge that death awaits us all. We mourn when death claims our loved ones without acknowledging we knew this day would come. Not the time, the place, or the circumstances, but the result. We make plans while God laughs. God's plan for Dylan was that he die a hero. And heroes never really die. Dylan's memory will survive on monuments at Emmitsburg, Annapolis, Colorado Springs, and Delaney Valley, to name a few. But most importantly, his name, his jokes, his stories will be told and retold around countless firehouse kitchen tables from Baltimore to New Jersey, at family tables from Elkridge to the Emerald Isle. His memory will never fade, and he will never truly be gone. Dylan enjoyed greeting the promise of a new day's possibilities at sunrise with a coffee and reflection. We can honor his memory by doing just that. Pour that coffee, gather around the kitchen table, and share your memories of Dylan. To Jerry and Ralph, thank you for welcoming us all in as members of your extended family. We know you hadn't planned to spend your 30th anniversary at Club 405 or by getting matching DR tattoos, but hopefully they have become a cherished, if not bittersweet memory all the same. To Lauren, we know your plan was for you and Dylan to race your wheelchairs down the hallway of a retirement home someday. You hadn't planned to share your love for Dylan in such a public way under these conditions, but we thank you for sharing it with us. Your love is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Your strength in the wake of tragedy is incredible and has assisted all of us in finding our own strength to carry on. We want you all to know that just as we greeted you at the burn center, traveled with you to the medical examiner and Duderuck, and walked beside you to this cathedral, we will continue to be there for you. We are your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, and we are here to help with whatever you need, now and forever. I feel it appropriate to close with a traditional Irish toast. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. I ask now that International Association of Firefighters General President Ed Kelly, General Secretary Treasurer Frank Lima, and 4th District Representative Andrew Pantelis join in presenting the IEFF Medal of Valor to Dylan's parents.
reading from the Book of Wisdom. But the souls of the just are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. They seemed in the view of the foolish to be dead, and their passing away was thought an affliction, and their going forth from us utter destruction. But they are in peace. For if before people indeed they be punished, yet is their hope full of immortality. Chastised a little, they shall be greatly blessed, because God tried them and found them to be worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace he proved them, and as sacrificial offerings he took them to himself. In the time of their visitation they shall shine, and dart about as sparks through stubble. They shall judge nations and rule over peoples, and the Lord shall be their king forever. Those who trust in God shall understand truth, and the faithful shall abide with him in love, because grace and mercy are with his holy ones, and God's care is with the elect. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
And green are the pastures where he gives me repose. Near restful waters he leads me, he revives my soul. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Me along the right path for the sake of his name. Though I should walk in the valley of the shadow of death, no evil would I fear, for you are with me. Your crook and your staff will give me comfort. My shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. You have prepared a table before me in the sight of my foes. My head you have anointed with oil, my cup is overflowing. My shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. In the Lord's own house shall I dwell, for strength of days unending. My shepherd, there is nothing I shall want.
reading from the book of Revelation. After this I had a vision of a great multitude, which no one could count, from every nation, race, people, and tongue. They stood before the throne and before the Lamb, wearing white robes and holding palm branches in their hands. They cried out in a loud voice, "Salvation comes from our God, who is seated on the throne." And from the Lamb all the angels stood around the throne, and around the elders and the 4 living creatures. They prostrated themselves before the throne, worshipped God, and exclaimed, "Amen. Blessing and glory, wisdom and thanksgiving, honor, power, and might be to our God forever and ever. Amen." Then one of the elders spoke up and said to me, "Who are these wearing white robes, and where do they come from?" I said to them, "My Lord, you are the one who knows." He said to me, "These are the ones who have survived the time of great distress. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For the reasons they stand before God's throne and worship Him day and night in His temple. The one who sits on the throne will shelter them. They will not hunger or thirst anymore, nor will the sun or the heat strike them. For the Lamb who is in the center of the throne will shepherd them and lead them to springs of the living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes." The word of the Lord.
Today's gospel is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verses 36 to 42. Then Jesus came to them in a place called Gethsemane and said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go and pray over there." And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and deeply distressed. And then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." He went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." And then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping. And he said to Peter, "What, you couldn't wait and watch 1 hour with me? Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again, the second time, he went away and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, your will be done." And this is the gospel of our Lord. Praise to you. I would like now to invite up the family speakers. His fiancée, Lauren Ridley, and then his sister Danielle, Ronaldo, and his friend Captain David Garcia.
Thank you all for being here to celebrate the incredible man that is Captain Dylan Joseph Ronaldo. I would like to take a moment to thank the Baltimore City Fire Department for being by our side from the first minute. You have held watch with us, remained by Dylan's side with us, protected us, and cared for us. You are the embodiment of brotherhood. You are honoring Dylan, and for that our families thank you. To the heroes who are so humble that they do not recognize themselves as such, you are heroes, and thank you for everything. To the team at Shock Trauma, thank you for your remarkable actions. To the team at the Johns Hopkins Bayview Burn ICU, thank you. Thank you for a miraculous 5 days, for your honesty, for your support, for your teaching, humanity, and grace. It is hard to grasp that we are all here today. Dylan was larger than life, his booming voice calling out, "Where you doing?" with every phone call, his presence brightening a room. It's hard to grasp that he will not walk through those doors, that he will not join us at the Union Hall, nor salute the fallen. Dylan acted with the bravery and courage that so few have. He has engraved his name permanently into the Baltimore City Fire Department, Baltimore City, and our hearts. He is a true hero, and we will always remember him as such. Thank you for the time to share my words about the man I loved so truly. The supreme quality of leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a football field, in an army, or in an office. Eisenhower. Integrity was the backbone of Dylan's leadership. He was fair and firm. He led by example. He would not ask anything of someone that he himself would not do. He looked to mentors in leadership. He was open to learning, and he paved his own path. From the stories I have heard, his integrity was ever present, from his football field, to his brotherhood, to his office, and in his home. Thank you to a young student at the Monroe Township School who wrote Dylan a get well card that said, "You're like Spider-Man and Superman, but you're real." You're right. Dylan's a real-life superhero. One of my favorite memories of Dylan is in Woodstock, Vermont. We'd stood outside at night and he was enamored with the stars. Absent of light and city pollution, we could see every star and constellation. Dylan could not take his eyes away from it. He said, "It makes you feel a part of something and realize how tiny you really are." Looking back now, I see his leadership in this small, simple moment. It reminds me of an Admiral McRaven quote, "But out of this humble approach to life, we are more likely to appreciate the beauty that surrounds us, more likely to gaze into a microscope or peer at the stars." Captain Ronaldo recognized the beauty of humility. He was a beautifully humble man. Thank you, Captain Ronaldo, for your bravery and service and ultimate sacrifice. I'm so lucky to have known Captain Ronaldo and to learn more about him from his brothers and sisters. But to me, Captain Ronaldo was also Dylan. He loved ice cream. He loved golf. He watched Aerial America every weekend morning he was off. He refused to eat scallops. Didn't enjoy shrimp. He took pride in his yard. He's my best friend. He's my family. He's Dylan. He defined unconditional love. To be loved by Dylan was to be truly loved. We are all so lucky to be loved by Dylan. He was fiercely loyal, protective, and steady. He told my parents he would love me endlessly, a statement that remains true. He was the love of my life, and I love him endlessly. He took care of everyone first, and then second, and then third, because that's what mattered to him. Making others feel safe, happy, and loved made him happy. He loved to bring home flowers and set them up in a way so he could see the surprise on my face. He was so excited to remember to order an extra bowl of chips with crab dip because he knew I liked the extra chips. He loved to plan dates and sit and talk about our future. No matter how simple a gift, he would act as if I'd reached up and pulled the moon down for him. He would exclaim he had always wanted a Notre Dame t-shirt just like that, or a pen that looked like a golf club. He loved to love a lot, and he loved being loved. He loved community. He was happiest at home, spending quality time together and with family, spending time with his friends telling stories and sitting around a firehouse table. Somehow everyone knew Dylan. I was always proud to introduce Dylan, and I always found a way to bring him up in conversation if he wasn't around. He was an immediate member of my family, and his family welcomed me with open arms. He was a funny, charming, silly man that took every opportunity to dance in the kitchen while cooking, sing Wild Rover at the top of his lungs, crack a joke, play a prank, and give a silly birthday card with an inside joke. He was always laughing. When I think of him now, the memories that flood me are those of him smiling and laughing. What a blessing. What a blessing to have spent time in life with someone who loved life so much. Dylan taught me about joy and optimism. To all here and afar mourning his loss, God, is it such a loss? He would tell us to be okay. He would tell us to be happy, to remember, and to carry him forward. He would wipe away tears with a simple, everything's okay. Dylan did not dwell. Dylan remembered. He would ask us to do the same. Dylan, thank you for the most beautiful 5 years together. You make life beautiful. You gave us a beautiful life. I'm honored to have been asked to be your wife. We always said we were a team, and we still are. It is my intention every day for the rest of my life to remember you, to honor you, to carry your helmet, and to live like you. You changed my world. I have been lovingly asked so many times, what can I do for you? I finally have my answer. It is simple, but this is my wish. Live like Dylan. Help me complete some of his bucket list items. I need someone to learn guitar, left-handed bonus points. I need someone to take a cruise out of Baltimore. I need someone to go to Montana. I need someone to go to Dublin to Temple Bar and sing Wild Rover. I need someone to buy a goat. I'm sorry for whoever gets that one. I need someone to go to Portland, Maine and have a blueberry beer. I need someone to sit on a western-facing porch and watch the sunset. I need someone to go to a beach sunrise. I need someone to run a 5K. Sorry, his list, not mine. Live like Dylan. Enjoy the mornings. Order the dessert. Fall in love. Travel. Read. Brew a fresh pot of coffee. Tell stories around the firehouse table. Hug. Hug often. Smile. Laugh more than you cry. Live your life with the heart of a lion. Live and love fiercely, bravely, and with honor. Live and love loyally, humbly, and purely. Dylan Ronaldo lives on with us through our actions. Dylan Ronaldo lives on with us remembering him the way we knew and loved him best. Thank you to all, and please be safe.
To Dill, my brother, my best friend, my hero. I'm not quite sure where to start. I can go on and on about stories from when we were little, but I wouldn't want to embarrass you, so we'll save it for another time. What I will say is thank you. Thank you for being the most amazing brother a girl could ever ask for. Thank you for the way you protected me, loved me, and supported me through absolutely anything and everything. Most of all, thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders in life and believing in me sometimes more than I believed in myself. I can't express how proud I am of you for all of your accomplishments. You dreamt about being a firefighter for as long as I can remember. Not only did you accomplish that dream, but you've exceeded it. You got your hard work and dedication, and I truly admire you for it. I will forever cherish the beautiful memories and times we've shared together, especially our last hug. I will always remember you as my brave, strong, and courageous older brother that was a fighter till the very end. It's not a goodbye, but a see you later. Please promise to watch over us and bring us strength while we learn to live in this world without you. In return, I promise to sing your favorite songs at the top of my lungs with the drink in my hand in honor of you. I promise to work hard at everything I do in life and to do it with honor and integrity, just like you. I hope to make you just as proud of me as I was of you. I love you dearly, my sweet Dill, and I will truly miss you. Cheers to you, Captain Ronaldo.
I've told Dylan a couple times to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and he's probably making fun of me for eating my own words right now. Thank you, everybody, for being here and showing your support. I'm Dave Gercio, the Captain of Engine Company 46, where Dylan has served since his promotion to lieutenant on July 6th, 2022. It has been a privilege to be even a small part of his career and an honor to send him home with dignity and respect. Dylan started his career in 2017. After the Fire Academy, he was assigned to Engine Company 35, otherwise known as the Brooklyn Fire Dodgers. It was here, pipe down. It was here that on his first fire, he made the stretch, and while headed to the seat of the fire, he found his first person. He drug him out, went back in, and put the fire out. After he was eligible to transfer, Dylan decided to go to Engine Company 13, where he was assigned to B shift. They're the ones that laugh right now. This is where Dylan lived his dreams of being a fireman and remained until his promotion to lieutenant. If you look for Engine Company 13 on a map, you'll find it just east of the magical place known as Jobtown. Dylan truly believed he came from the best firehouse in the city, and to be totally honest with you, I did not have the heart to tell him otherwise. I first met Dylan when he was detailed at Truck Company 10. He introduced himself, which is not always common. I noted how huge he was, yet how calm and soft his voice was. He also smiled. I had received texts from 13 and 16B the night before about his detail that day. All the guys confirming that he was the real deal. I kept my eye on him throughout the day, noting how he carried himself and his work ethic. He was absolutely on my radar. Months later, he promoted to lieutenant, and 3 months after him, I was promoted, both of us to Engine Company 46. Dylan was my relief, and a phenomenal one at that. I would wake up and make my way into the kitchen to fill up my water, and he would be in there cooking breakfast and sipping coffee with the men. Never loud, yet always heard. Most mornings, he was in his illegal Club 405 body shop t-shirt, and I loved making fun of him for that. Something that most people probably won't admit in the firehouse is their love for sunrises and sunsets. You've heard from a few people that that's a thing for him. This gives me chills. For those that have worked with me know that I will conduct morning lineup and evening lineup on the yellow lines in front of West Lafayette Avenue so that we can watch the sun come up and the sun go down as a team. Those will forever be more meaningful to me. How do I stand up here and describe Dylan? I asked his brothers to help me with this. I asked they each use one word to describe him. The results will be no surprise to anyone that knows him. Words like dependable, selfless, unwavering, honorable, diligent, ambitious, reliable, loyal, genuine, humble, dedicated, professional, fair, and faithful. All of these words are the character traits of one type of person. A fireman, which is coincidentally the one word that Captain David O'Malley of Engine Company 13 used to describe Dylan. I also asked them to share a funny story or memory of Dylan. While some will have to wait for the Union Hall, I will share the others. Captain David O'Malley of Engine Company 13 was Dylan's officer until his promotion to lieutenant. He recalls the first-in pipe job at 13 on Pressman. Dylan was smiling ear to ear. He was the epitome of a rookie fireman. Studying for college while simultaneously earning all of his acting out of title approvals. Pump operator Brian Eldridge of Engine Company 13 was Dylan's driver. Brian says it didn't matter if it was a trash fire or 3 houses off. Dylan wanted to know what they could do better. Brian enjoyed watching him turn into a beast of a fireman, earning the nickname Animal for climbing over some poor guy's back that hesitated on the steps and stealing all the fire. Brian, you're gonna have to start being nicer. Murph, now Lieutenant Patrick Murphy of Truck Company 5, was Dylan's senior man. He describes how Dylan was stuck in the Brooklyn pace, and to be clear, it is a bit different than the West Side Cowboy pace. Murph challenged Dylan to be better. He told him, quote, "If you get dressed faster than me, then you can have the pipe," end quote. Now, Chiefs, Captain O'Malley ensured they were all dressed and seatbelted before they took off. One day it finally happened. Dylan smoked him. Dylan's smile could have lit up the world. His level of excitement is something that Murph will cherish forever. After Murph accepted the loss, he realized Dylan was bigger, stronger, and faster. Lieutenant Murphy admires him for it. In Bruce chapter 13, verse 16, are the words of Bruce Lopez, who was a fireman on the shift. He was with the guys who were all much taller than him. When he heard the news that they were getting a new guy, he felt a sense of relief that he would no longer be the shorty. You can imagine the look on his face when Dylan arrived. Lieutenant Nick Hernandez of Truck Company 16 understands all too well the responsibilities of being a company officer and a leader. Do I have what it takes to never leave a man behind, no matter the circumstances? Hernandez knew that Ronaldo had forced himself to face this thought long before October 19th, based on the type of man Ronaldo was. Lieutenant Hernandez was on Linden Heights Avenue that afternoon. He noted that no matter the amount of fear or uncertainty faced that day, a conscious decision was made by Ronaldo. Dylan J. Ronaldo would never leave a man behind. EVD Brad Bruns of Truck Company 16 shared a passion for sports with Dylan, both of them playing at the college level. It's appropriate that Brad shares his official scouting report of Dylan. It reads, Dylan is a rare individual, intelligent, size and strength are off the charts. Leader verbally and through his actions, dependable. You won't be disappointed. EVD Mike Celsi of Truck Company 16 is the one with the pink New York hook. He says Dylan is the man that every father hoped their daughter found and married. First active man Petey, Truck Company 16, remembers after Dylan's first pipe job how he bought them all B-shift t-shirts. This one highlights what Chief Fannin said about Club 405 being hard on new guys. Now, EVD Kyle Bowers of Truck Company 5 describes how the shift told Dylan he was not allowed to sit in a recliner for one full calendar year. He says Dylan would not waver. Kyle and Dylan would stay up pretty late. Every night after midnight, Kyle would try to talk him into laying in a recliner to get some sleep. Of course, this was just so Kyle could snap a picture and ridicule him. Dylan wouldn't budge. He instead would sit at the kitchen table in a computer chair and pass out sitting upright. Nobody ever caught him sleeping. Lieutenant Tommy Stars of Engine Company 46 regularly found himself sifting through stacks of housing code violations and office paperwork with Dylan's handwritten notes. He calls it a testament to how deeply he cared. He did everything by the book. This reflected a sense of responsibility and respect for the rules. It is the same mindset that set him up for October 19th. In the shifts prior, he conducted home visits in the 5200 block of Linden Heights Avenue. He knew from firsthand experience which houses were occupied. Captain Mike Spencer of Truck Company 27, who was on Dylan's shift, recalls the job they had on June 18th of 2022, box alarm 29-40 at 23:47 hours. Engine Company 46 was the RIT. Truck Company 27 was the first due truck. Dylan called on the radio that he was deviating from the RIT to help with the primary due to the reports of people trapped. In high heat and zero visibility, Dylan went left at the top of the steps on the second floor, locating one unconscious adult in the rear bedroom, and without assistance, he removed that person to the front yard, only to turn around and head back in to complete the job. He located Captain Spencer in the second floor front bedroom, and together, the two of them removed a second unconscious adult. For his actions that night, Dylan Ronaldo would likely receive our Meritorious Conduct Award. I woke up the next morning to text messages from dozens of guys about 46's actions on that fire ground. I was at the beach waiting for a phone call from Dylan to share the story. By lunchtime, I couldn't take it anymore, so I called him, and he answered. I said, "Is there anything you'd like to tell me?" I had to pry it out of him, and part of his story included, quote, "I never knew we could deviate from RIT until I heard you do it a few months ago," end quote. That's when it set in. This guy is the perfect combination of smarts and aggression, topped off with an unbelievable amount of humility. He just made 2 grabs and he's passing the credit. I'm forever grateful for having Dylan in my life for even the short time that it was. I'm proud to be part of the Baltimore City Fire Department. This has been a tough 22 months for us. We provide so much for so many people with such few resources. We will all hold our heads high. Grandparents are not supposed to bury grandsons. Parents are not supposed to bury sons. Little sisters are not supposed to bury big brothers. No captain should bury one of his men, and fiancés are not supposed to bury their forever person. I cannot change any of this. I can reassure you that Dylan had a fireman sitting watch with him 24/7 since the evening of October 19th, and now we all have him on watch for us. To Dylan's brothers, to 13 and 16, and to Hilltop, and to those humble few who seek no recognition or sympathy that found themselves intimately involved in the rescue operation, let me offer you the following 2 things. First, Murph shared with me his experience as a young man in combat. While I never experienced anything like he did, we both found that we share similar questions about events that we were a part of and why we made it out alive. He was told by somebody, "You are where you're supposed to be." We are both here today when we likely could not be. Just remember, you are where you're supposed to be. The second thing is something that I've found resolve in for the past 22 months. I heard it every day in high school in the announcements. It's called the Serenity Prayer. It reads, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." If you visited Dylan and his family during their time at Bayview, you saw the fireman's prayer from Dylan's home hanging on the wall. I will read that now, as it was important to Dylan and who he was. "When I'm called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me to embrace a little child before it's too late, or save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert, to hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and give the best in me to guard my neighbor and protect his property. And if according to your will I have to lose my life, bless with your protecting hands my loving family from strife." I would like to close with a quote from the movie Sandlot. This quote is fitting because the words in the movie are from Babe Ruth, who hails from Baltimore, the same city that Dylan J. Ronaldo selflessly gave his life to protect. "There are heroes and there are legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Captain Dylan J. Ronaldo, Baltimore City Fire Department, badge number 3744, will forever live in our hearts."
The question we all ask is why? We all wrestle with the same question, and there's never an easy answer. Sometimes just an echo, empty hollow that reverberates back to us, leaving us feeling alone and empty. Again, we ask, where are you, God? Jesus and his friends had a Passover meal together. And it says that when they had finished, they went out and they sang a hymn and went to the Mount of Olives. And it was called Gethsemane. Gethsemane means oil press. And it was there that he was sweating drops of blood in his agony of what he was about to suffer, asking, "Take this cup from me." Today, I think we all feel the same. Take this cup from us. But little did they know, the families and friends, as they watched their loved one die, and a little while later they would see him back. He would roll the stone of death away. He stole